Today we are moving on to the D chord, so if you aren't yet comfortable with the switching between E minor to A major, I'd suggest you practice it until you do, and then watch this. So the D major is just another happy chord, just like the A major was. And if you haven't noticed yet, any minors you will hear, like E minor, A minor, D minor, those are all sad sounding chords. And then any major chords you'll hear like E major, A major, and D major are just the happier sounds. So, but D major isn't difficult to play at all. It's just different from our E and A. It's not all in the same fret, and you stretch your fingers a little bit farther, but not by much, if you consider a fret far. So this chord is played with 1, 2, and 3, or index, middle, ring. So take them out. So you take 1, and you're going to want to find the 3rd string, 1, 2, 3, 2nd fret, 1, 2, and set it right above it, and curve your finger, and then take your middle one, and that one's going to go on the 1st string of the 2nd fret. If you see, the 2nd string is open right now and has nothing there, that is where it's going to go on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string right below it. And this chord you strum down starting on the E, A, D, because it's called D, and that's where it gets its name from the root, and that's its root of the chord. But let's make sure that you're not playing anything wrong and that everything's in the right area. So if you want to, like, if you don't hear anything being muted, like if you're this finger, I'm leaning right now, so if you hear that on one of your strings, it's not right at all. So you're going to want to fix that. And sometimes it's not even your threading hand that's messing up the chord. If you're wearing like a sweatshirt and it's like dangling loose where you're strumming, that could get stuck in there. So if you're telling yourself right now, I know I'm playing it right, I know I have it all straight, check your other hand, because maybe you're wearing some loose clothing or a bracelet, and you should take it off and pull up your sweatshirt sleeve or long sleeve shirt, and try again. And if it's still not right, maybe you need to tune your strings. Anyways, before we go into like future lessons, I want to be able to make sure that you're comfortable, like switching it, so you're not like, how do I do this? I think, like, I want it to come naturally. You could play it in your sleep. So when I learned, like, I didn't think of a nice shortcut. That's why I taught the A major last time, because that's actually a little shortcut in between the chords. Because when I learned it, I actually had to learn like fully on switching. I didn't have a nice little shortcut, but I have a shortcut for you, and that's why we learned the A major. But before we move on to the shortcut, let's just make sure you know the shape of the D and you can hit it well. And a nice memorization for the D chord I found was that when you look at the shape that your fingers are making at the moment, tilt your guitar straight up and look, because if you connect the dots, that's what I do, imaginary dots, it kind of outlines a D. That's how I see it. So like the curve and then line, an uppercase D. So, but that's not gonna, that'll help you to know the shape of it, but you still need to know where everything goes. So if you want to pull out your chord, just make sure that you get it. And once you've practiced it for a while, and you're constant with it, we will now be switching our chords. So I will tell you how to switch them, and I'm not going to reteach the E minor and the A major chords, because I believe you should have practiced them. So We're going to start on D, what I showed you before, and then you're going to keep your one finger where it's at, and the other two are actually going to move. So the third finger, or your ring one, is going to come up a fret, so it's going to be all scrunched up there. But then your second one is going to go over on the other side of one. This is a new way to play A. It's not anything different really, as long as you keep 3 fingers there within those strings and the fret. It's all the same, but this will be an easier hold for now to show you how to switch in between. Up and over. Up and over. And then when we are on A, keep the second finger where it's at. And now we're going to take off the third and let it hang back. And then you're going to take your first one and put it on the other side. And then we're on to E minor now. So when you're doing this, always make sure the chord sounds right, and take it slow and don't overwhelm yourself. So, because you will get it eventually. You wouldn't expect to get it right now as you're doing it, but so if you're gonna take it slow, just count it out. It's like 1, 2, 4. So like that, and we are coming close to the end of our lesson. So if you want to challenge yourself, like I said earlier, I learned it like that, and that'd be the most useful way to not like have this middle chord transitioning them. So just try going from D major to E minor, and next time we'll be learning